The Sisters Grimm podcast is intended for mature audiences only. Please listen at your own discretion. Tiptoe through the window.
The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
The most notorious serial killer in the nation, the Night Stalker.
The Boston Strangler.
The Son of Sam. The infamous Zodiac Killer.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Get away from her, you bitch!
Welcome to the Sisters Grimm podcast.
How'd you do this? Show you.
Welcome, everybody, back to the Sisters Grimm podcast. It's Holly.
And Morgan.
And we are about to talk about movies that I did not care for.
Well,
all three.
I love 1 and 2, not gonna lie. 3 was
We're talking about the
trip.
I know what you will. I know what you did.
I know what you did last summers. Last summers, we can call them the last summers.
Don't even get me started on like the grammar issues with these movies I have. We'll get into that in number 2. Right. So let's just start it off right up at the top. We got the movie I Know What You Did Last Summer. And it was written, I didn't know,
by Kevin Williamson.
And he wrote it actually before Scream. He wrote Scream. Mm-hmm. And then he didn't sell, and it wouldn't sell until after he made Scream.
Right, because then any company was like, yeah, anything he makes, we want our hands on it.
Yeah.
And you can tell that he only wrote the first one.
Oh,
because there's a lot of like good quippy lines and a lot of fast dialogue that actually is kind of hard to pick up on, because that's one of those movies that like I watched so much when I was little.
Well, it's
and
a lot
I did
like
not
Dawson's
get
Creek.
Like anything that they were saying when I was younger, but I still loved it.
It's very much like Dawson's Creek, I think.
Well, yeah, because
even
also
so,
wrote that.
Yeah, and there's Dawson's Beach, and that's where the movie starts out. The movie takes place mostly in like I think it was South Carolina.
Is it Massachusetts?
No. I don't
it's a
know.
Very fish
I literally
town.
Don't know where their town is.
It's definitely somewhere up in
But they filmed it in South Carolina.
Oh, okay, cute.
They filmed the first scene where they're on the cliffs in California because South Carolina is flat.
Yeah.
And so they wanted somewhere a little more bumpy.
The movie opens with a guy sitting on the edge of a cliff, and you're kind of like, okay, who's this guy?
Or if you're me, you're like, I forgot this movie started this way.
Yeah, Holly was like, what the fuck is happening? She like didn't remember any of it, and I had to like re-explain the whole theory of the movie.
I could not tell you up until yesterday, or the day before rather, whenever we watched it. I couldn't tell you the last time I'd watched that movie in its entirety.
I love it. I watch it
probably
all the
only
time.
have one other time. Definitely the second
Sarah
one.
Michelle Gellar.
Third one
I
was
love
the worst
Freddie.
thing I've ever seen.
The third. Anyways, we'll get there. But back to the first one.
We got Freddie, Rai. We got
Sarah Michelle Gellar. We got
Gills.
Jennifer Love Huge Tits.
Yep, I'm sure she loves.
Sorry, Jennifer.
Loves that. You got your quintessential hotties of the 90s.
Oh my god,
movie.
so hot.
So hot. Yeah,
I know you did last summer with Buffy Summers.
Yeah, Buffy. Buffy is in it, and also Freddie Prinze, who was like at the top of his game. And Ryan Phillippe was just like such a little snack.
Oh my god, the littlest. And then he was Cruel Intentions after this?
I don't recall.
I think it was. I think Cruel Intentions was 98 or 99, and this was 97.
Yeah, the Cruel Intentions was 99, and the first one,
97.
It came out in October
of
97. But why wouldn't it come out in the summer?
Because it's a scary movie. I get it. I like that they did it that way.
I guess. It got a 42% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's not bad.
Movies aren't graded well.
It's not good.
It's like about 4 young friends, like we said. We got Shaggy, Scooby.
Which is funny because two of them are actually in this, but not Shaggy or Scooby.
They're all bound together by this tragedy because
they
accidentally hit a dude.
Yeah, so they're all hanging out. There's a pageant that Sarah Michelle Gellar wins, so then they're just kind of celebrating, getting a little drunk, and then Ryan Phillippe really just fucks everything up.
He really does. He's
totally Ryan Phillippe's fault, like 110%.
He's very angry in this movie.
He's an aggressive
He's very angry.
male.
He has there's underlying problems with Ryan Phillippe's character that are not explored. So when I was looking up stuff about this, there's very little on-screen blood in this one.
Yeah, totally.
In this one.
I'm trying to think of any real on-screen blood. Like, definitely blood comes out of people's mouths.
The first kill, there's blood.
And there's definitely... What's
with that
the first
boy.
kill?
The kid from...
Oh, yeah, the kid from...
Roseanne / The Big Bang Bang Theory.
Yeah. There's also blood when he kills the cop because he like hooks him in the stomach and then he like hooks him deeper and blood comes out of his mouth.
So this is based off of the urban legend of like the couple in the car and like they're listening to the radio and the radio says that there's a deranged serial killer on the loose and he has a hook that he carries around.
Yeah, I would say it's called the hook.
Yeah, and then the boyfriend is like, "Ooh, I hear some
scraping,
some scritchy scratchies. I think we should. So obviously we should fuck."
Yeah, right. Scratching on cars turns dudes the fuck on.
Dude, literally. Well, we'll get to it in the second movie, but Mekhi Phifer literally says, like, he's like, I am scared, I am horny. It's like,
and I'm hungry,
and horny, and
then he dies. Anyway,
died. Yes.
So back to the first one because this is really where I want to just press in how good.
Yeah, no, Morgan is pro this movie. I think the first one is okay. It's okay.
I will say the last probably 20 minutes of this movie, like pretty much from where. So the scene where Sarah Michelle Gellar she's in the back of the cop car because Barry has just been killed at her.
Barry is Ryan Philippe.
They're at the new year. So we have to also say that all of these movies take place during the 4th of July.
Yep, and it's really stupid
because that's the most important and iconic holiday of summertime.
So they accidentally did this but right before they went to college. So then they come back after college, and that's he knows what they did last summer,
right?
But
they killed, quote unquote, killed the dude last summer.
I would like to point out that they come home from school, and within days, it is the 4th of July.
Well, it's even crazier in the second movie because it's literally...
They're in school
in college still during the 4th of July, which, yes, does not make sense. But it was a really cute way to open up the movie, I guess.
No, it's weird. It's the 4th of July.
So, anyways, back to the iconic time that is the last 20 minutes of this film. So Sarah Michelle Gellar... We're just
going to talk about the last 20 minutes of this film?
Some of it.
Cool.
Sarah Michelle Gellar is in the back of the cop car, and then she has an epic chase scene where she is wearing like stilettos. She like throws herself out of a window, runs to an alley. He still kills her. Studs. Meanwhile, Julie realizes what's all happening, which is
Julie is Jennifer.
Yes, which is that the guy who they hit last 4th of July actually was coming from murdering somebody else when they hit him. So in reality, it was kind of a good thing because you find out...
Wait, why did they kill the other guy?
Okay, so you find out...
I just watched this movie.
That the guy who they accidentally hit's daughter died in a car crash a couple years previous.
Oh, by a drunk driver, right? Or just...
Maybe.
Was he drunk? Maybe.
They were not drunk. So then the beginning of the movie actually starts. The first person you see is her boyfriend. And he's sadly looking out, thinking about his girlfriend who died. Because they always say that he wished it was him instead of her. And then what you don't realize is that night, because that's who they thought that they hit originally. Because they found that guy, that boy's body in the water. So she was like, that's who we killed. But really, the fisherman who they hit... He had killed him because his girlfriend, the one who he's sad about, is his daughter. So he's avenging his daughter. He's blaming him.
Even though he feels so bad that he might kill himself.
Yeah, bruh. The fisherman is not a man of moral standing.
No, he really is a psychopath through and through. And, very much about revenge.
He is very vengeful to the point of avenging someone he doesn't even know in the third one. But again, we'll get to that.
They kill him, and they kind of could have helped him out, because if he was dead, or if people
Well,
thought
yeah,
he
how
was
did
dead,
they
he could
know
get
he
away
was
with
dead?
killing.
Like, didn't someone check his vitals? Didn't anyone see he was still breathing? How
No,
low
I
is
think
this
they
guy's
were
heart
all
rate?
Stupid and like
Yeah, they let
didn't know
Freddie
how.
Prinze check his pulse.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he wanted to be a fisherman, so I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, this movie
How did? Oh, you said it got a what on IMDb or a?
42, which is not good.
It's not horrible. It's not good. It's bad.
It's a bit bad.
But I love these movies. I love this one specifically the most, probably because of the star-studded cast.
Yeah, no.
Other notable people that are in it, I can't think of her name. I wish she could, but she plays like.
Is it the sister?
Yeah, she's in the remake of Psycho, and she plays like
Yes.
the girl who dies at the beginning. But I can't think of her name.
Which is crazy because Henry Lucas? No. Henry, I forget his name, but he's in the remake of Psycho. He's a little boy from E.T., and he's the dad from
Haunting of Hill House? Oh,
yeah,
I didn't know he was in the remake of Psycho.
Yeah,
does
he
he
plays
play?
Norman. Beats.
No.
And Heisha's in that too. Yeah.
I thought it...
Was Vince Vaughn. That's another
Yeah,
one. That's
okay,
another
what the
one.
fuck, you guys?
They did it a couple times. This one is like, or maybe it was a sequel. This one's a sequel. I do not know. I will say that on IMDb, this movie was scored a 5.7, and there
Out of 10?
out of 10, and there is a porn version of this movie, obviously, called I Know Who You Did Last Summer, starring Ron Jeremy.
Ew.
And it got a better score on Rotten Tomatoes, or on, no, not on Rotten Tomatoes.
On IMDb?
On IMDb, yeah.
What did
hold
it
on.
get?
Wait, where did it go? I Know Who You Did Last Summer. Okay, I forget. Honestly,
It's like, mind your business.
it's like literally, it's like, Cole, I know what you did. Who you did?
I
last
know
summer
who
too.
you did too, girl.
I think it got like a 7 or something. It did
okay.
really well. So on
a
to
7 is not good. Oh, a 7 out of 10. I thought you meant on the splat meter or whatever.
No, I'm not on Tomatoes. I am on the database.
Should we move to
Movie.
I still know what you did last summer?
Yes. Can we also break down the fact that it should have been called I still know what you did that summer, because it's not last summer. It's like last summer at this point.
I mean, technically, a lot of shit happened last summer too, though. Like
But
they
is he
threw
re-
him out of a
okay.
boat and
So-
shit. Oh, right. We should talk about
They're
how
like,
the first one
are they
ends.
referring to last summer?
Okay,
or
so the first one
last summer?
ends with they're on a boat and somehow like they cut his hand off and he like falls off and the police come and whatever. But then the movie ends with Julie, aka Jennifer Love Hewitt's back at college in this huge bathroom, and then all of a sudden like he jumps out and like scares her because she finds a note that says "I know." Leading you to think that maybe something happened there, but we don't really know what it was because it's not brought up in the next movie.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, it would be called... I mean, it could still be called I Still Know What You Did Last Summer because, like, he's, like, just reminding you and...
I would just...
He lost his hand that summer. He hadn't lost his hand the previous
I
summer.
read some very funny IMDb reviews of this movie on
Of I Still Know or the first one?
of I Still Know.
Okay.
And some of them are from a very long time ago. But this person gave it a 4. Mm-hmm. They
Out of
said
10?
the title. Yeah, there is only one problem with this movie: the title. Let's be real. Nothing was going to make this movie great, but the only thing that genuinely annoys me is the title. Why did they use the word last? It's incorrect, as this is 2 years later.
But
the
it's
title should be
not.
I
Something
Still Know
happened
What You
last
Did
summer, too.
That summer. He goes on to say, an entire Hollywood crew and not one writer or semi-intelligent person could figure out that the word last could simply be changed to that? Literal morons. Because, it's the whole cast and crew who writes.
Yeah,
It's the whole
exactly.
crew that writes the movies.
Yeah, it's
In
the guy on
Hollywood.
food. It's the guy in Crafty.
It's a crafty.
So this is the thing. Then you're completely changing the name of the movie, and that's too far. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer is better. And I'm just going to stay with that stance
Yeah,
because
'cause you
guess
have
what?
to stay
Other
with-
shit happened last summer, the fuck too.
Yeah, and also, like, lots of stuff happens in the summer.
That's true.
Just in general.
But, like, literally, motherfucker lost his hand last summer. So what do you mean
Yeah.
nothing happened last summer?
No. Okay, I think we can argue. I mean, we have talked about the title about as much as I've wanted to, and about as we did a while, and that was what I wanted. So let's get into the other idiot, dumb, stupid things in
So
this
this
movie.
one starts with Jennifer Love Hewitt's in a dream sequence. And she's like, she's apparently Catholic, which we didn't know until now.
I forgot that.
Because she
Oh, yeah, they
goes
told
and
us
talks
we
to
know her religion.
a father who then in the dream turns into Ben Willis, which is the name of the fisherman who kills them.
And then
But then she wakes up in college.
Her
When she
roommate's
wakes up,
Brandy.
she screams so loud that her boobies shake all around. She literally screams so loud that her whole breasts shake.
It was disgusting the amount of reviews I read that were like, wish Jennifer Love Hewitt had gotten naked. It's like,
I bet you did, bro.
I bet you were.
Like, no one's surprised by you feeling that way, sir, but, like, we don't
Jeez.
care.
We don't care.
But no, okay, so yeah, so then she's in college, which is weird because it is the 4th of July. However, I did go to a college that was all year round, and I did have classes every month.
They filmed at USC.
Yeah, no, that would be home for summer.
That would be
Unless she's taking
people would
summer
be home.
classes, because it is talked about several times that Julie's not doing great
Right,
in college.
but okay,
her
but
mom in the first movie gets her college report card. That's not a thing, is it?
No.
She's like, I got your report card. I'm
Well,
like, she's in college.
I mean, to be fair, I wasn't going to college in the 90s, so I don't know. Everything was electronic at that point. But
yeah, but you
and on
did
the
go to a
computer.
college a long time ago.
Wow. Okay, Morgan.
Just kidding.
Thanks. It wasn't
Snatched your wig.
not that long ago because it took me forever to graduate.
I'm talking about when you started.
Fuck you. So, anyways, this movie starts out with Brandy winning
We love
a
her.
trip to the Bahamas
Yeah.
from a radio station because they ask her the question, what's the capital of Brazil? And she says Rio, and it's right. And everyone who knows that that's not the capital of Brazil had to be like,
What?
like that had to be the first thing. Only
Me
dumb
as a
people
10-year-old
could feel for that.
Me, a 10-year-old girl watching this for the first time, I don't know, and I was like,
Exactly.
"Bleh."
And so, like, they make
I didn't get why she looked in the food cupboard to find it out either.
that
Was
is-
she like, oh, we have Brazilian something, let me look, Brandy?
I don't know, maybe there was like a globe
What's
on a-
Brandy's name in
a
the
pasta.
movie?
Her name's something super, like,
Carla.
tame. Yeah.
Carla.
Shout out to all those Carlas out there.
Tame.
Tame.
Well, so
Not
the movie
tame.
starts with her screaming, and then Freddie Prinze Jr. shows up because we now know that they are an item, and he is coming to bring her home for the 4th of July, but she's all, I can't. What's his name again?
Barry.
No.
Remember, we hate that his name's Barry.
No, Barry was Ryan Philippe's character.
Oh, yeah, his name's Ray.
Ray. Good old Ray.
I hate that his name
So
is
Ray comes to get her. That's the thing is he's like, she has plans to leave with him, but then as soon as he gets there, she's like, I don't want to go. And it's like, what's theatrics? Just call him and tell him that you don't want to go. He came all the way to get you,
And
dumb
then
bitch.
she gets mad that he doesn't want to then come back. They won the trip.
Well, she's like, how about you stay here? And he's probably like, I didn't bring my shit because you're coming with me. What am I going to wear? Your clothes? Brandy's clothes? I'm a fisherman. I don't have money for a whole outfit.
Oh my god. I just had a weird, like,
Sorry,
out of body
I'm
experience. Like, when I don't know, it was weird. So, when, what just happened?
I was telling you to get closer to the mic.
No, I know, just like in that last moment. Okay.
It's really
Back
hot up
to
here, so maybe we're
life.
both just like
Back
get it
to
going out of it. Right now.
reality. And it's like, what, day like 2 million?
It's day
and 14?
48. I counted today.
Ouch. That's
For me, you have a little less days.
I
than
do
me.
have less days. And for everyone,
please still stay at home.
Yeah, stay home.
Just wash your fucking hands and put a mask on that mouth, y'all. And don't touch that mask with your hands. And don't touch your face. But let's get back to this movie. Speaking of faces.
Okay, so
Jennifer
Ray
Love Hewitt.
pissed that she don't want to go with him. Then he's further pissed when she does want to go on this other trip with him. And he's like, what? You don't want to come here. But then he's like faking that he's mad to get her to like...
Because he
Be
wants
sad? Like, I'd be really mad if my boyfriend did this.
same, and he was gonna like propose the whole time.
Yeah, he has a ring. So then he decides, well, really his like friend who also is a fisherman decides that they are going to just surprise her and just drive up. Meanwhile, on their way driving up, the fisherman,
comes and gets him.
well, they're singing, "Here I go again on my own."
They spent the entire budget on this movie on that one Whitesnake song, I think.
Probably.
But I don't think they got the licensing to say the names of the band members.
And
So then the fisherman kills Ray's friend and further fucks Ray's car. But then Ray's in the hospital, and all of a sudden he pulls all of his IVs out, such a movie trope, and leaves. And they're all like, "Where's that guy?"
Yeah, I cannot tell you. I can't stress. Like, no, don't do that.
No.
Don't do that. No. Your insurance isn't going to pay for it, for one thing.
So another thing with this movie I would like to point out is that it is an hour and 40 minutes long
and could probably be 20 minutes shorter if they cut out the incredibly long scenes where Jennifer Love Hewitt hears something and is just walking around like, what? And
there's a lot of that.
There's a lot of that, but
let's get to when they get to the Bahamas, aka they actually go to Mexico.
Yeah, that's where it's
and
shot.
Jack Black is there.
Jack Black
AKA
is a like stoner.
His name is Titus Telesco.
What?
Yeah.
How have I never known that? I've been watching this
Titus
movie for
Telesco.
years.
I am almost 100% positive that he ad-libbed everything and wore his own clothes.
Honestly. And he's just smoking weed and trying to sell weed the whole time.
Or
honestly, if I met him, as soon as I got there, I'd be like, fuck you!
Yeah, no, he has so many Tommy Bahama shirts. Maybe he was paid in Tommy Bahama shirts.
Maybe.
He was not, he went uncredited in this movie.
What? Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was like, what? Okay.
Sure.
So yeah, they're at like this resort. It's very weird because there's like literally nobody else.
There's no one there because it's storm season. Because so
There's
just to
just
kind of
one
ruin the
girl
movie
barback.
right now, the whole thing is that they didn't actually win a trip to the Bahamas
Because
the
the
killer
of Brazil is actually Brasilia.
basically goes on this crazy ruse, even though he probably could have just killed them in their college town, but goes on this
Oh my
crazy
God.
ruse to get them on this island during like the stormiest time of the year, so there's no way they can leave. And he just kills everyone who works at this place and most of her friends.
The killer, like the theatrics that this guy goes to, like literally is insane in this movie. Like in terms of like posing the bodies of the people who have died.
He'll move people around like
He
different times.
There was a maid he killed, and yeah, he moved her.
He
at
uses
least
her
3
body to
times.
scare them like 3. It's like he knows the rooms they're going in.
Yeah, like that's fun for him. And also, there's the trope of finding a dead body in a
Dryer.
So sometimes in movies, do you think that they need to have money, or do you think they need like a laundry card, and they're like, "Fuck, I can't do the dryer bit," because they don't have enough money to do it?
I would say it's a pretty cheap thing to do. I would say most places you're going might have a washer and dryer.
Yeah. So, at this hotel, there is really just the guy behind the counter, which is...
The bartender.
The guy behind the counter is Herbert from Reanimator.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like, this guy is weird. And then I was like, this guy is weird and looks familiar. And then it was him. And also... there's like a cool voodoo guy, and it's Bill Cobbs from The People Under the Stairs.
And then the bartender girl, the maid, and
They
the
pretty
weed
much-
guy, and then there's a guy who like hooks up the boats.
Yeah, they have their own weed guy on staff.
Yeah, I'm
I
jealous.
don't know
I
what
need to
he
go to
is.
this kind of a fucking
I
resort
don't
where there's
know.
just a guy they literally get off they go from a plane to a boat to get to this island. As soon as they get off the boat, he comes up to them and is like, hey, mamacitas, y'all looking for any weed? Like, that is literally the kind of service I'm looking for. And I also have expected, since everyone always told me that people were just going to be offering me drugs all the time. They don't.
Oh, there's also the young man who, like, is the boat wrangler.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He dies first.
Yeah, he dies first. And it's so this
that's
movie's
another
very
movie
gory.
where a black person dies first. Remember when I was saying that there really isn't that many? There's one.
There's this one.
I think that's the very first person who dies. Unless
no,
the friend dies
it's
first.
the friend who dies first.
All right, so never mind.
Short, pretty soon. So like we said, people are dying. There's
all
one scene.
over.
There's a scene where they wake up in the morning and Mekhi Phifer, Brandy, Jennifer Love Hewitt, and the dad from
Gossip Girl, yeah,
are all sleeping in the same
His name's
bed
Will.
together because they're scared. Yeah, he's little in this movie.
So, okay, just to get
and
to
I
the
also
ending.
cannot stress how bad Mekhi Phifer wants to fuck
Brandy.
this whole movie.
Yeah, the whole movie, he's like, man, all I want to do is eat some ass, slap some titty, and get my dick sucked.
Yeah. So basically, you find out that it's the son of
the guy that Brandy has been trying to hook Jennifer Love Hewitt up with the whole movie, because she's kind of like, fuck Ray. And then she wants him to get with this guy named Will, whose name is Will Bennett. Dun, dun, dun. The killer's name is Ben Willis. It's a fake name. He's been the killer the whole time. Or he's been helping.
So that guy was incredibly lucky that he had not only a son that was Jennifer Love Hewitt's age, but was able to get him into the same college as her.
Yeah. And then
assuming
he was hot.
that this was... then he was hot.
Or he could have been sneaking into classes and just pretending. No, you can't. That's
con.
a long con. They were like friends for probably almost 6 months, maybe 7.
And I'm pretty sure he was going to try to get into Bone Sesh before he killed her.
It was definitely seeming that way.
So, this movie and so Scream obviously came out before this, and I don't know if we talked about it. You probably did, but maybe this just refreshed my memory when I was reading about it today. But up until Scream and around this time, horror movies had been dying. We're a dying genre.
Well, Scream is what brought them back, and this one was just either a part of that or helped as well.
It was
I really
in
liked
the
that.
soup. So I want to read just one other.
So basically, the movie
thing for this
ends by you finding that out. Then Ray finally shows up because he pawned the wedding ring he was going to give Julie to some guy somehow for a gun. And then he also uses the gun on this dude who has boats to get him there because somehow he gets there. I don't really understand how, but he gets there. He saved Julie. I don't exactly remember how everybody dies at the end because obviously they don't. The killer never dies. But then you think everything's good. They're back home. You see that Ray and Julie have gotten a new house together and that they are engaged. But then as they're trying to go to sleep at night and Freddie Prinze Jr. is brushing his teeth a bunch.
He literally says, the last thing he says before he gets attacked is, man, I really like this toothbrush.
He says, I love this thing.
Yeah, he goes, I love this thing.
And then Jennifer Love Hewitt is sitting on her bed. She looks at the mirror across from her, and the guy is under her bed, and it's another, movie ending with her screaming.
Yeah,
and again, we
of the-
don't really know what happened after the scream.
In both movies, they end with, did she die?
Technically, all three end this way.
Yeah, but the first two are with Jennifer Love Hewitt.
So this was written on October 29th, 1998. And so I just want you to picture a person who is
IMDb's been around that long?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, dude. Some of these, this is so old, this doesn't even have a rating. This is just a review. And so I just want you to picture, a person from the 90s wearing, a very thick choker and, a plaid shirt or something. And they say, being a young person, I am ashamed of the garbage my generation will shell out $7 for. Ever since Scream rejuvenated the horror movie, the whole scene has gone to hell. I still know what you did last summer is corporate garbage specifically designed to generate money from teens. In this movie, she puts in quotes, Julie and some friends are in Hawaii.
Okay, so did she really watch the movie?
I don't think so. and the fisherman from the first movie is stalking them. If you want to see a good horror movie, rent Rosemary's Baby or Exorcist. Don't be a tool.
Okay. You know 2 horror movies that are really well known. Congratulations, ma'am.
Yeah,
This person is probably now in their like
hundreds,
40s, probably just sitting at home like the rest of us, you know?
Yeah. Should we move on
to the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire fucking life?
God. Yeah. So the first time I saw this movie, which was also the last time I had seen this movie until today,
this is like the first
was
time
probably
Morgan
when it came out in like 2008.
Yeah.
I didn't make you watch it.
Well,
this is just what the podcast was on, and it was like homework.
Well, it was like B movies.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So it's not I will. It's I'll always know what you did last summer.
Yes. It's yeah.
And I just want to say right off the bat, before we get into anything else, the DP for this movie took some insane creative liberties.
The movie becomes more
it's the
desaturated.
Yeah.
You
like can't see it.
At one time, it is in black and white.
It's so poorly.
The entire movie is shot like it's a flashback scene. It looks like it's shot like a flashback scene.
It's so weird. Yeah, everything looks like a flash. It's so weird.
It's so weird.
When there's like dream sequences, you're like
wait,
what is the fuck happening? It's so confusing.
Because like they're at the beginning, they're literally like, it's like the pans of like a country road or something, but it's like really weird and edgy, and they put in these like, I don't know, like nowadays on TV shows they would like give you a warning for flashing lights and shit. And like that's kind of what their like dreams were like. They were just very like flashy, which I don't think is how people dream.
So this movie starts similar to that of Final Destination 3 at like a carnival amusement.
It came out in 2006.
Yeah, so it came out before Final Destination 3.
And it got a 0 on Rotten
And it has the guy from Final Destination 2 in it.
It does.
It got a 0?
It got a straight up 0.
On Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I want to be one of those assholes that's like, if I could give this negative tomatoes, I would do it.
It's so bad. And like,
I hated
I can
watching it.
find a positive. The only positive that I can find in this movie is the hot guy who, I don't remember his name in this movie, but he's in Holiday in the Sun. And
Lance?
he gets with Ashley in it. Yes.
I think it was Lance.
So the movie starts with
There's a girl named Amber.
Amber's the main character.
And then there's the sister from Pretty Little Liars.
Oh yeah, what's her name in it? Hang on, I can maybe remember it. Her name is
Zoe.
Zoe.
Zoe
and they're
Amber.
all at this amusement. Or no, they're like at a
And
carnival.
Colby.
Colby. Yeah, and PJ. So their friend PJ shows up, and then all of a sudden
they have this huge like prank planned.
Yeah, so they're planning this prank with the fisherman and the hook. And somehow it ends up being that PJ is skateboarding away.
Yeah, the big climax of the prank is PJ skateboarding off of a building, and PJ impales himself because somebody moved the mattresses they put down.
Who do you think moved the mattresses? That's never dived into ever.
We 100% know who did it, Morgan, because should we just like tell everyone what the slap is?
Wait.
It's a ghost. The ghost moved it.
Oh, okay. So wait. Okay. That makes this movie have at least some sensical logic. Not really.
No.
Well, because I was like, why is Ben Willis? Because, okay, full slap of this movie. This is the only one that's somehow paranormal, whereas Ben Willis is a ghost.
Morgan was like, oh.
Even though he's like a younger guy in his like 60s, and then 10 years later, they're like, oh, he's dead. That was years ago, the 90s? This movie came out in 2006.
Yeah, that wasn't that long ago.
So he's a ghost. Okay, so that makes more sense, because I just thought he was avenging this PJ kid who he doesn't even know, and I was like, why? But now I guess they did it. He kind of just did it because they like were making fun of him?
I guess. I don't know, but
Ben is a little bitch.
Because, yeah, then they make you think that it's like, because, like, the dad of the kid who dies is, like, super upset, and his cousin
but then it never
really
comes
upset.
back to him,
No,
ever.
Because it's
He's like a red herring the whole time, but it's never, like, they should have at least killed him off. Did they?
Yeah, he died.
Did they? They killed the one cop off. The one who, like, I think had a crush on her and was also somehow a red herring.
Killed both of them.
There's like a concert scene in this movie that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, there's a full, straight, like, top to bottom music video that takes place in this.
This whole movie is kind of shot like a music video.
Are horrible. It's a lot of, like, big belts over the loops. Those one, like, Empire shirts.
It's so bad.
It's so bad.
Like, honestly, so bad that I would just tell people don't watch it unless you really, really, really enjoy horrible.
There's a part where Amber
he got a 0.
goes to her cell phone. She has 50 unread text messages, and they all say, "I know what you did last summer." So when
and
Morgan,
she's like, "Ugh, my ex-boyfriend."
Yeah, literally, she says that. But when Morgan and I were watching this, she turned to me and she's like, "Oh, this one has a paranormal element to it," and I was just like, why?
Yeah, at first I was like zombies, but
Why?
that's actually not what it is.
Why? It's so dumb. This movie did not need to be made. I don't know how this movie even got made.
So
it was
apparently,
so bad.
I was reading in the trivia that it was originally
supposed to call The Hook or something.
Well, I mean, they always do names like that just so that when people see the scripts, they don't leak them because they don't think it's something. Like,
True.
You know, whatever.
Well, no.
Yeah,
But
no,
they
that's
usually
what
make
they-
them. I know they do that.
Yeah.
But I think that was the original working title. That
Maybe.
wasn't like one of those ones they do where
But
they name it.
they
the
were
real
going
different.
to originally do it, and Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah, or I'm sorry, I always say Sarah, and Jennifer Love Hewitt were like signed on to do it, but then it got like pushed back, like so many
right.
years
Yeah.
that everything changed, and then they just redid it with this new story. I also found out that the original director got like fired like 2 weeks before shooting, so like,
ouch.
This movie was done kind of half-assed, and honestly didn't necessarily need to happen.
And it shows. It's all up there on the screen, you guys.
It's not good.
It's so bad.
You know
It's
what's better? Cruel Intentions 3.
Can't relate.
I know. It's actually, I love Cruel Intentions 3. It's such trash.
Back to Ryan Felipe.
Yeah, he's not in the 3.
Well, no, but he's in the franchise.
Yeah.
And each have 3 movies.
Yeah.
Oh, but actually, I was reading that there's going to be a reboot of it. And I think the guy... Oh, who was I reading? It was like somebody you know. Oh, I think the guy...
Darren
who
Lynn
made-
Bousman?
No. By no, I meant that you like a lot his movies. The guy who did Hush.
Really?
I think he might be doing it.
His
yeah.
name is, I should know this.
I forget. But
really
yeah,
like
if
him.
he does that, that'd be cool. I don't know if we need it. It says
His
it's
name
in pre-pro.
is Mike Flanagan.
Yeah,
He also
it's
did
in
that, like,
pre-pro, and I'm guessing that it's been halted
Well,
due to
probably.
this. If we don't get an I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot, I won't be sad. Is
I
this the one that our
will.
cousin Peter said that he watched
Yeah.
with our cousin Rachel and then had to sleep in our grandpa's bed? And
That was so scary.
It's been like 3 years, and we're finally talking about
I mean,
this
it
movie,
is kind of
Peter.
scary.
Because he's like, when are you guys gonna... Because, yeah, he's like, have you guys talked about... Because he doesn't like scary movies.
No, but he's seen that one.
But that's the one he has seen. Or one he has seen.
It's not streaming anywhere, you guys. So
It's not
unless you own these
scary
movies,
either.
don't pay for
I
them like
never
we
thought
had
that
to.
it was a scary movie.
Oh, I did.
I didn't think it was scary. I'm like,
Liar.
this is... Well, did I think it was scary?
I'm sure you
I
did in
just
the
thought
90s.
he was in a very scary, like...
Oh, I did. He
I
looks
didn't
like the
think he was
Grim Reaper,
scary.
but like fisherman style.
No, I think the whole, like, fisherman, like...
Yeah, it was a stretch for sure. And it's another kind of like holiday horror movie trying to come off because it's like about the 4th of July.
Yeah, and
Or
when it
just
comes
summer.
to a 4th of July movie, I'm looking for strictly Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, there were just so many inconsistencies with the movie. I do like it when Sarah...
Should we do the Jaws movies next?
We have done the Jaws movies, Morgan. We did Shark... we did Shark movie. Or no.
Yeah.
I think we
that
did
was
Shark
that was
movies,
years ago.
and
I
you made
forgot.
me do that one. Or we talked about the actual Jaws movies. I couldn't tell
Anyways,
you.
That's been the episode.